Let's go Browns! What's happening in Berea could change the course of the Cleveland Browns for years to come, and hardly anyone is talking about it. While all eyes are on obvious headlines like Aaron Rodgers' arrival from rival Pittsburgh, the real earthquake is quietly happening in Browns training camp. A rookie quarterback who's already threatening to shake up the lineup. A running back ready to take over the offense from the first snap. A linebacker who could be the new brains of the defense. And a veteran receiver who may finally have found his moment. But behind those names are tensions, tough decisions, and a complete reset of who's in charge on the field. And maybe, just maybe, we're seeing the dawn of a new era in Cleveland. But before we go any further, for example, if you trust Coach Kevin Stefanski, if possible, comment something like, "Come on, Stefanski, take us to the Super Bowl." Let's start where the rumors turn to excitement. Shadur Sanders, a fifth-round pick who already looks like he was born to wear the maroon and orange. Forget draft position, what we've seen so far is a talent that transcends expectations. Sanders hasn't had the cleanest start in OTAs. He slipped on a bootleg, got tackled, and stumbled out of the gate. But then came the moment. A pinpoint pass off a thin post to Caden Davis in the end zone. Almost a touchdown. And while it almost doesn't add points to the scoreboard, it sends a message. This kid has the arm, the brains, and the guts. Sports Illustrated couldn't let it go, noting his confidence in the red zone, his accuracy in tight windows, and his overall poise in 11-on-11 drills. The only caveat? Most of his reps have come against second and third team defenses. Still, if Joe Flacco doesn't start in week 1, it's increasingly obvious that Shadur Sanders is next. And speaking of players ready for Sunday lights, look no further than Quincin Judkins. If there's a name you need to remember from these OTAs, it's his. This guy isn't just competing, he's dominating. NFL ready is an overused phrase, but Judkins wears it like a badge. A playmaker with explosive burst, elite patience, and relentless strength. He made headlines with a play that was pure electricity, a cut and bounce to the outside that turned a routine snap into a massive gain. Sports Illustrated captured the essence of that moment perfectly, and it wasn't just a flash, it was a glimpse of what this offense could lean on in 2025. With the current structure of the running back depth chart, Judkins isn't just in the mix, he's already carrying the torch. From Ohio State standout to Browns breakout, this kid is ready to eat. Now, defense wins championships, and there's one name already echoing inside the facility, Carson Swissinger. It's rare to see a rookie grasp the game at a mental level that surpasses his experience, but Swissinger isn't your average linebacker. Jordan Hicks couldn't hide his admiration, calling out Carson's natural processing ability, his instincts, and his hunger for the ball. Swissinger doesn't just move, he diagnoses. He doesn't just hit, he leads. Whether it's identifying run packages, dropping back in coverage, or swarming to the football, this guy is showing signs of becoming Mr. Green, the coveted role of signal caller in the middle of the defense. He's got the versatility to play the box or drop into space, and the Browns' defensive unit is buzzing with potential. If you're looking for the cornerstone of Cleveland's future D, this might just be it. And then there's Judy, the enigma, the untapped star. The receiver who came into the league with high expectations and, until now, hadn't quite landed in the right spot. But things are shifting. The connection with Joe Flacco is real and growing. They share a locker wall, and more importantly, they share a football wavelength. Judy spoke about their developing chemistry, the conversations off the field, and the trust being built play by play. With Elijah Moore gone, the path is clear. Judy is WR1. No more shadows, no more excuses. He's running crisp routes, creating separation with quick feet, and finally embracing the role of a lead wideout. The only thing left to see? That deep ball connection with Flacco in full pads. Because if that happens, the Browns' offense could surprise everyone. But as with any honest assessment, not all headlines are feel-good stories. There are concerns. Players who haven't shown up or haven't shown enough. Deontay Johnson, for example, has yet to appear in OTAs. Yes, they're voluntary, but when you've been on 4 teams in 12 months, and your production has dipped, and your off-field reputation raises eyebrows, you can't afford to skip reps. Johnson was great in 2021 and 2022, but in 2023 he barely made an impact. The NFL is watching. If he doesn't turn things around in Cleveland, where will he go next? This may be his final shot. And what about Deshaun Watson? It's a conversation that Browns fans are tired of but can't avoid. Injuries, controversies, regression. Watson is no longer the centerpiece of this team. Not by a long shot. With Joe Flacco brought in, 2 quarterbacks drafted, and Kenny Pickett traded for, Watson now sits at QB5. It's not official, but it feels definitive. He might not take a snap in 2025. It's a stunning fall for a player once seen as a franchise cornerstone. The writing, as they say, is on the wall. Before we wrap this first half, let me hear from you. Who do you think is the biggest winner from these Browns OTAs? Is Shedeur the future? Is Judkins already the heartbeat of this offense? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't hold back. We want your raw takes. Let's talk about Kenny Pickett. The conversation around him is more complex, less of a dramatic fall like Watson's and more of a quiet purgatory. He's not quite a loser, not quite a winner. He's floating, and for a quarterback, that's a dangerous place to be. Currently listed as QB2 behind Joe Flacco, his hold on that position feels temporary at best. With rookies like Shadur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel rapidly gaining traction and Flacco already commanding the offense with veteran ease, Pickett's future in Cleveland is far from secure. The numbers don't lie. During his time with the Eagles last season, he played in 5 games, completed under 60% of his passes, totaled just 291 yards, with 2 touchdowns and a single pick, a QBR of 86.5. It screams average, or, to be blunt, mid, and that's the thing. The NFL doesn't reward mid, especially not in quarterback rooms filled with potential. Pickett, once seen as a promising first-round selection, now represents something else entirely, a trade chip. With Flacco likely to start and one of the rookies expected to slot in as the long-term QB2, Pickett becomes expendable. Could the Browns flip him for a 5th or 6th round pick? Absolutely. And in doing so, they'd free up reps for Sanders or Gabriel, while extracting value from a player who likely won't see the field in 2025. This entire quarterback situation, in fact, tells a broader story about the Browns in 2025. This team is quietly but intentionally reshaping its identity. No longer leaning on the past or waiting for a star to rebound, they're investing in competition, depth, and fresh energy. Shadur Sanders isn't here to hold a clipboard. Judkins isn't waiting in line. Swissinger isn't easing into a backup role. These are players coming in hungry, confident, and unafraid to challenge veterans for snaps. And in many ways, that's the most promising sign Browns fans could ask for right now. Even Judy's emergence fits this new mold. There's no guarantee that the chemistry with Flacco translates to Sundays, but the signs are promising. Judy's taking ownership. He knows he's the guy now. And that's a mindset shift Cleveland desperately needed. No more maybes. No more waiting. This offense may not be elite on paper, but it's full of players with something to prove, and in the NFL, that can be a dangerous combination. Now, let's circle back to that OTA environment. It's important to remember, no pads, limited contact, and plenty of reps against second-string defenses. Still, the trends are there. The flashes of talent are real, and for a team that's spent years searching for consistency and identity, that means everything. This isn't a roster quietly going through the motions. It's a team drawing lines in the sand, identifying who's ready to lead and who's being left behind. That brings us to the defense, which might just be the true engine of this team in 2025. Carson Swissinger is the headline, but he's part of a larger puzzle. With Jim Schwartz steering this unit, and with players like Jordan Hicks mentoring the next generation, the Browns' defense could legitimately be a top 5 force. And that's the kind of anchor a team like this needs. Let the offense figure itself out. Let Flacco steady the ship. Let the rookies develop. As long as the defense dominates, this team stays in every game. To wrap it all up, this was more than a report on OTAs. It was a glimpse into the soul of this 2025 Browns team. Shadur Sanders is the future. Whether that future begins week 1 or week 8 is almost secondary to the fact that the future is already on the field. Quincin Judkins is the type of back who can alter game plans. Carson Swissinger might be calling plays by midseason. Judy finally looks like he's where he's meant to be. And yes, there are questions. Deontay Johnson is a ghost. Deshaun Watson may have taken his last snap in brown and orange. Kenny Pickett is waiting for a call from another front office. But this is